Good morning, everyone. This is Lisa Lashendro. I'm one of the marketers here at IAMS. I'm happy to be here with Tia Stanley, where she's going to take a deep dive into some North American products. She's been with North American for 5 years. However, she's been in the industry for 13. She is heavily involved with NAFA, National Association for Fixed Annuities, and this year she's acting as chair of their education committee, so that's exciting. Um, Her high energy approach towards developing relationships, presenting sales concepts, and her commitment to our industry have definitely been key in helping partners grow their business. So lucky to have her. A little fun fact: she's a proud mom of two German Shepherd dogs, and collectively, I believe they weigh more than she does. So anyway, again, my name is Lisa. I want to thank everybody for being on today and taking some time to spend with us this morning. Um, I see some familiar names on here, so welcome back and welcome to folks that are on our webinar for the first time. With that said, for those of you that already know what it's like working with IAMS, this is going to be a bit of a repeat for you. You already have experienced the IAMS experience, but for those that are new, I'm just going to kind of share with you a little background. I joined IAMS this year, one of the best career moves I think I've made in a long time. So I'm excited to be here. I started in the insurance industry in '98, and that's all I'm going to say about that. But a little information on IAMS so you can kind of get an idea of how we like to partner with our producers and agents and really focus on those that want to grow their business. Oops, if I can get there we go. So first, when you get contracted with IAMS, in the first 180 days, the business that you write with us, we definitely want to reward you for that and grow in your production and give a little bit back to you. Whether that be, you want to go to a 100,000 level or all the way up to a million level. We have the different stages here that would be, the best fit for you. So again, any business, life, annuity, whatever that you write with us in the first 80 days would be credited to one of these levels. And as you can see, I'm not going to read all of these off to you, but keep in mind as you're kind of skimming through the different perks you get with each level, whether that be cash or marketing reimbursement or whatever the case may be. Um, you know, we definitely think outside the box here at IAM. So if there is something else out there that you think would benefit you more so than, a nice stay at the Ritz-Carlton or a 4,000 piece mailer, definitely let us know. Steve Murray is big on thinking outside the box, and if it's going to benefit you and your business, he's he's going to be open to it. So keep that in mind as you're working with IAMS. If you've got other ideas that aren't in black and white in our correspondence, call your marketer up or call myself up and let's talk about it and see what we can do to partner that up. On top of the new producer bonuses, we also work off of referrals. You love referrals, and so do we. So basically, we have a decent referral producer program. When you refer a contract or another producer or agent that contracts with us, automatically you'll get $50. When they do business, you'll get another 100. And then going forward after that, you'll get an override that comes out of our pocket on business that they write after that. Then when I was just talking to you a little bit about marketing reimbursement, we're also gonna, pay you back some marketing dollars with the business that you write with IAMS. You'll hear me say this multiple times this morning. We want to partner with you and help you grow your business, and that means giving you some marketing dollars to put back in your pocket. So I think that's extremely helpful, and a lot of our producers take advantage of that. So partnering with IAMS, you have your back office support with us. I believe that we have the best in the best. I've been in the industry for a while, seeing how our back office support uh, provides help to our producers and agents out there. When I was an agent years ago, I certainly wish I had IAMS as a back office, but anywhere from helping you do case design, getting forms to your fingertips, commission support, um, all the way to contracting and helping you there. And then when the business is submitted, our new business team is phenomenal. They are just outstanding when it comes to doing all the follow-ups, keeping me in the loop so you can do what you do best and be out there prospecting and writing business, and we'll do all the legwork for you, back here. So once you work with us, I think you'll find that it's stellar customer service. On top of that, we have, of course, our IAMS website. It's imsinc.com. Here again, after hours, you can't contact us or whatever the case is. Go out here. You can get your sales tools, term quoters, submit applications. Whatever you need is probably going to be out there as well. On top of our website, in our website, you also have access to Firelight. This is one of the top programs out there for submitting business electronically. A majority of our carriers are on Firelight. Happy to get you guys registered after you're contracted. It's pretty simple. I believe it's just your name and email, and then you hit submit, and then we get you registered within 24 hours. If you've got a rush case or anything like that, just give your marketer or myself a call, and we'll be happy to get that pushed through. Then one of my favorite conversations I love to have with my producers is our creative marketing solutions. Our guys and gals in our creative marketing team are phenomenal. Just having a conversation with them or throwing some ideas at them of where my producer or agent is, and they come up with some outstanding solutions. It's a great resource to have here at IAMS, anywhere from helping you create a design, a logo, business card, stationery, whatever, to just maybe being a consultant for you. Let's say you're already working with your cousin George over there that does build websites, and he's doing this. Contact us. We'd be happy to help you with just consulting and have our guys talk to your guy, and whatever it takes to help you build your business. That's what we want to do here at IAMS for you. So definitely, if you become contracted with us, you want to take advantage of that. A couple years ago, shy of 3 years ago, I believe it was, Steve and Charles decided that opening up to a IAMS wealth management team would be extremely helpful and useful to our producers. So they did it. We've got Charles Jr. and Mike Hansen out there helping our clients. And one thing I like about this, especially being an agent myself back in the day, prior to being securities licensed, I had to let some of that business go to someone else, and then I opened the door up for someone to take the rest of the life and annuity business that I wanted to write with them. This is nice because if you aren't securities licensed, you can refer your client to our IAMS wealth management team, and they can help them with those kind of funds. And then if you do decide to get registered, we can transfer that account right back over to you. But it's just another way for you to have control with your book of business. Next, I'm going to talk briefly on our Life and Annuity Academy. Unfortunately, we did have to cancel the one we had scheduled here in May due to this COVID-19 biz, but this is something that we initially started doing one time a year, and then it was in such high demand, we ended up doing it multiple times a year. All expense paid by us here at IAMS. We will partner with a carrier. The last one we we're supposed to partner with Athene, but as you know, that kind of fell through here. All expense paid, like I said, anywhere from your travel to room and board, dinners, meals, the whole bit. You get to rub elbows with other successful folks in the industry and get some good concept ideas and advanced learning opportunities and things like that. See what's working out there and what's not. And I've just outstanding feedback from folks that go to this. So something to keep in mind. Keep an eye out on your emails. We will be announcing when we're going to do this again, and hopefully that will be sooner than later. Speaking of travel, and I know it's not a great topic right now with the COVID-19, but we do have trips here at IAMS as well. This is one of the next ones. You can qualify still through the end of this year. Minimum requirement is 3.5 million. The travel dates to Puerto Vallarta will be March 7th through 11th in 2021. Open and praying that people are traveling by then, but if not, we'll figure it out. And then for our elites producers, we're going to extend this trip to another resort in a Four Seasons resort there in Mexico. This will be March 11th through the 14th. Instant qualification for this will be 8.5. Minimum qualification will be 6.5. So would love to take you to that. Obviously, we want to show our top producers our appreciation. And that is about it. I'm going to switch this over to Tia. Tia, you ready for me?
Born ready, Miss Lisa.
Awesome. Tia, thanks again for showing up here today and giving us your morning to tell us a little bit more about North America.
You got it. And really, really appreciate the opportunity. To everyone tuning in, I got to thank you for carving out part of your morning to not only spend with IAMS, but to spend with me as well. Again, my name is Tia Stanley, and I'm Sales Vice President for North American Annuities for our Central region. So I have the absolute pleasure of supporting IAMS. And I tell you what, with you tuning into this webinar, with working with IAMS, you've made the right choice. I know that you're already aware of that, but talk about, the backbone of our insurance industry and how long IAMS has been a huge player in that. So again, congrats for working with a fantastic IMO. Now, to go ahead and kick things off, Lisa mentioned, hey, I've got 2 German Shepherds, and they're massive. I call it Corona-geddon, what we're going through right now. But the dogs are very happy that we've been stuck at home. So I call them my security detail because they're really 2 couch potatoes. And I generally have one on each side of me laying down snoozing. I assure you they're put up, so there's not going to be any snoring in the background. But what we're going to go over today, besides talking about my fur babies, we're going to talk about our best-selling fixed indexed annuity, VersaChoice, and some recent updates that we've made. This is absolutely fantastic timing. So again, great opportunity from IAMS to let me be a part of the co-hosted webinar today. So here is the agenda, and I promise you I'm going to make the best use of your time. So first things first, we're going to talk about VersaChoice 10 and exploring the accumulation enhancements that we've made recently. Great accumulation play. Second thing, it's the first to market liquidity that's available on VersaChoice 10. Got to tell you, especially with being in the industry a long time, it's very exciting to be able to say the only place you're going to get this type of liquidity is with North American Annuities. We have the only product on the market, product meaning FIA, that offers this type of enhanced liquidity. So it's an awesome story. Can't wait to tell that to you. And then we're going to wrap things up. We're going to bring it back to our EPC loyalty program. I'm thrilled to show you how it works and also what IAMS has in store for you as follow-up to this webinar. Okay, so what you're seeing right here is our product wheel. Now, if you've been familiar with North American for a long time, you know that we had a pile of riches when it came to all of the different products that we had in our product portfolio. Well, what we've done, we've streamlined it. So we want to be able to solve for key financial objectives that you see located here on this product wheel. And we want to have quality more so than quantity when it comes to our products that are available. So you're going to see we've got 6 product series. And the one, again, we're going to go over today is going to be VersaChoice 10, which is our best-selling fixed indexed annuity since we rolled it out. Now, when we rolled it out, or we created this over 3 years ago, we had 2 things in mind, 2 financial objectives that we didn't want to be ho-hum or moderately good at. We really wanted this product to excel, not just in accumulation, but also a flexibility and a liquidity story for the client. So when the client needs access to their own money, what type of flexibility can we offer to them? What kind of peace of mind can we offer to them with different benefits that they could utilize? So what we're going to go over first is going to be that accumulation story that I had mentioned during the agenda. Now, when I talk about the accumulation story, it's not going to be your traditional, let me pull up the rates, which, by the way, Snorefest, going through all the crediting methods, all the rates. Not going to do that to you because, again, I promise you I'd make the best use of your time. So here's how I'm going to showcase our accumulation story. The first thing I'm going to pull up is a blast email that we had sent out to the field that is licensed with North American and also our IMO partners like IAMS. Now, what we had showcased was actual returns from 2019. So on clients that had purchased a VersaChoice contract that were allocated into the S&P 500 marks 5% ER, which is one of our volatility controlled indexes, those VersaChoice owners received an average interest credit of 9% last year. I love to be able to tell a story of reality versus what we're all used to, which is hypothetical performance. As an industry, we're so used to taking a look at an illustration. What did backcasting look like to help us determine, how should that client be allocated? How should that producer, utilize the different crediting methods in the product? Well, that's fine and good. But to me, let's kick it up a notch, which North American did by showcasing this actually happened last year. So that volatility controlled index, the S&P 500 mark 5% ER, has been wildly popular on that product. And it's great to not only state that 9% average interest credit, but also look at the right-hand side of the screen. On our 2-year point-to-point mark 5 option, it's a 95% par rate. We recently had a rate increase as well, annual point-to-point 60% par rate. So when it comes to hypothetical and actual history, I'm showcasing actual history to you right here. Now, when we talk about volatility controlled indexes, really what we're looking at for volatility control is going to be creating consistency. When we picture volatility on a graph, you picture these high highs and these low lows. Well, when it's volatility controlled, that's more so gentle waves. It takes those jagged edges out, takes out that really high and really low volatility. Okay, so we wanted to enhance our story. Clearly, Mark 5 through the S&P 500 has done a great job with performance last year, 2019. Also, hypothetically, it backcasts well too. Well, we wanted to enhance our volatility controlled story. We wanted to enhance that accumulation story. So what we did on VersaChoice, we added the Fidelity Multifactor Yield Index 5% ER. Now, the feedback that we've received since launching this on May 5th has been, wow, North American, strong name, A+ rating, been around for a long time. Another popular name that we've heard a lot of people trust that they look for is Fidelity. So from the feedback we've received, this has been an excellent pairing. So bringing on a new volatility controlled index, which I'm going to showcase to you how it works, we did something brand new at North American, which is going to be a fee for rate option. So you can see here towards the bottom of the screen on the Fidelity Multifactor Yield Index, we added a few crediting options. You've got a 1-year point-to-point with a participation rate and a 2-year point-to-point with participation rate at no fee to the client, just your traditional point-to-point par. We also offered that same thing, a 1-year point-to-point par rate and a 2-year point-to-point par rate, but those participation rates are enhanced by a strategy charge. Some would refer to that as a fee, but you're going to hear me call it a strategy charge throughout this portion of the presentation. So when it comes to the enhancements that we made on May 5th, of course, we added Fidelity to our best-selling fixed indexed annuity, VersaChoice, so that is exclusive to this product. Again, we also had a rate increase on most of our strategy options that were available. So with the Fidelity enhancement, that's going to offer the following to the client. Number one, optional enhanced index strategies, which we just went over. And it's also going to have a few other things to note. So I did want to note here that the strategy charge, what is it? You're probably wanting to know, what is that enhanced par rate? Well, I have to keep you hanging on, so I'm going to showcase that to you in just a few moments here. But that strategy charge is going to be an annual one of 1.5%. Now, from other let's say fee for rate options that exist out there in the industry so far, what I've heard is that our strategy charge of 1.5% is competitive. Another leg up that we have on the competition is how we charge that fee. So this strategy charge comes out at the end of that 1-year or the 2-year term, and we calculate it on the beginning of the term accumulation value. A lot of our competitors, this is actually coming out sometimes on a monthly basis, not us. It comes out at the end of the 1 or the 2-year term. So besides that, a couple other things to note. This strategy charge, it's locked in for the life of the contract, and it will not change. That 1.5% strategy charge, it's there, it's permanent, that's not going to change once you purchase a VersaChoice 10 policy. We also have an accumulation value true-up feature. So that true-up feature, it'll refund the strategy charges if the interest credits do not exceed the total charges over that 10-year surrender charge period. Also, I want to note that that true-up benefit, it's only payable if no excess withdrawals have occurred, and it's calculated at the contract level and only payable one time. So if you were to take in excess of your penalty-free withdrawal or any other liquidity option you have access to on VersaChoice, that AV true-up would forfeit. So when it comes to the Fidelity Multifactor Yield Index, I really want to take the name of the index and I want to break it down. So the Fidelity Multifactor Yield Index, all right, using multiple factors to measure yield and performance. All right, check, check, got it. Now let's break down what a factor actually is. And hey, you can see it right here on the screen. A factor is a characteristic of a security that helps explain risk and return within the asset class. So really there's 6 that have been accepted in the industry to add value in addition to that of, let's say, investing in the broader market, of course. Did want to note here that factors, they're not made up by Fidelity. They're not solely used by Fidelity. They're very well supported in our industry. So these have actually been researched for decades. Not just from an academic standpoint, but also a quantitative standpoint from companies just like Fidelity. So I wanted to make sure I noted that in case to those tuning in, you're like, a factor? Well, I've never heard of that before. Again, they're very supported and they have been researched for a very long time. Fidelity isn't the only company out there that is utilizing these factors. So you can see here that these common factors that have been assigned, they've been researched: value, momentum, dividend yield, quality, low volatility, and size. Those factors help explain the risk and return within asset classes. So I'm going to go ahead and bring up those underlined asset classes of Fidelity, where those factors explain them, in case you're wanting to know what the heck is this factor attached to. Well, you see it on the screen with the underlined index name. Okay, so we walked through the name of the index. All right, so how does Fidelity measure performance? I love this slide. Makes it very simple. They're going to measure performance in 2 steps. So step 1, they're going to combine all 6 factors by fixed weights. Now, popular question I get, so I'm going to go ahead and toss the answer out there, that this is a rules-based index. And that means that the weighting that you see here on this pie chart, that is not going to change. Those weights will remain the same, permanent, if you will. This is part of the rules-based index. So this isn't going to fluctuate. So step 1, that is set in stone. Those factors can't change, and the weights applied can't change either. So once they measure performance there, they're going to go ahead and go to step 2, and that's the daily volatility control. Now, clearly, they're targeting a volatility of 5%. So Fidelity is going to target a fixed income overlay to the equity bucket. So on a daily basis, here's what they're doing. They're taking a look at performance of the 10-year Treasury over the prior 3 months. Clearly, if the performance is positive, then hey, 100% is allocated into that 10-year Treasury note. And if it's negative, then they allocate a 50-50 split between the 10-year Treasury note and cash. So again, that is how the new enhancement works to the accumulation story on VersaChoice 10. So now we're taking a look at the rate sheet that I promised you, hey, I wouldn't do this. The typical carrier move of let's go through every single thing you see on the screen. Again, not going to do that. But I will use my pointer here. Let me see if I can go ahead and get that working. And here's what I want to point out, that for North American, every fixed indexed annuity that we offer, we have created a rate spotlight. What that's going to do is take the illustration game out of the question. If you're wanting to know for every crediting method, what does backcasting look like, you don't have to run an illustration to see it. Simply take a look at the rate spotlight. So I'm going to flip down here for the Fidelity annual point-to-point par rate that is enhanced by that strategy charge. You can take a look here. We've got 2 different sets of rates, low band and high band. And I'm thrilled to tell you, high band, it's only set at $75,000. Well, take a look at what those rates are. So you're going to see a low band 125%. You're going to see high band 140%. And you're also going to be able to go right across the row and see what backcasting looks like for the last 10 years. And for a 20-year look back, the highest and lowest. Again, the same information that you'd get on an illustration. So pointing out what these rates look like, let's talk about the Fidelity without a fee. I already said, hey, we've got an annual point-to-point par rate and a 2-year point-to-point par rate. Here's what they look like. So I'm going to go ahead and showcase high band. Our average case size is over $125,000 on VersaChoice, so I'm going to stick to the high band story on this one. But what you're going to see for that annual point-to-point par rate with Fidelity, it's 80%. Now, if you wanted that 2-year par rate, that's going to be 115%. Those par rates are without a strategy charge. But man, once you apply that strategy charge, look at that enhanced par rate. Your 1-year par rate, 80%, is enhanced to 140% with that strategy charge. Your 2-year par rate goes from 115 to 200% with that strategy charge. That's the enhancement. And again, take a look at these illustrated rates. We really wanted to kick our accumulation story up a notch. Clearly, when it comes to the Mark V, we've already stated what those average returns were for 2019. And to add to another part of our low volatility performance, that's why we went ahead and added Fidelity to VersaChoice 10. Okay, so telling the accumulation story, Mark V, Fidelity. You now know how Fidelity works for that specific index, and you now know what the strong accumulation play is for North American on VersaChoice 10. So now that we crush that, we're going to go over to the flexibility and liquidity story. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited about this. And again, it's because it's first to market. North American is going to be the only carrier to bring you this type of liquidity that you can offer to your clients. And how are you going to offer that? Well, when it comes to VersaChoice 10, you can have just a plain Jane accumulation play. 10-year chassis, you're good to go. During the application process, if you wanted to add on the enhanced liquidity benefit rider to offer not just an accumulation story, but also a liquidity story as well, you absolutely can. We're going to call it the ELB rider for short, right? Because enhanced liquidity benefit rider, whew, that's a mouthful. Now that rider charge, it's only 0.6%. That's right, 60 bips. That's it. Within that rider, you get 4 benefits. And I want you to picture the benefits like this. And if you're up for it, I'm going to have you do a little interactive game with me. If you've got anything sitting at your desk, any sort of paper, anything you can flip over to have a blank space, I'd love for you to do that. And I'm going to walk you through an exercise that I do a lot of times during presentations when I'm doing this live. And this is a great way for you as a financial professional to tell the same story to the client and have them draw the writer out. Do, again, this interactive communication. So when it comes to the writer, 4 benefits. I want you to picture the 4 benefits like this. 2 of those benefits the client can use regardless of the state of health that they're in. And then there's an additional 2 benefits that quote unquote unlock when a client can't perform 2 out of 6 ADLs. Okay, so now that you looking around your desk, looking around your kitchen table, perhaps if you're at home and you grab that piece of paper, here's what I'd love for you to do. I'd love for you to draw a rather large rectangle. And once you have that rectangle drawn, I want you to draw a line down the middle and through the center. And what you'll have in front of you are 4 quadrants. You're going to have 4 blocks within that rectangle. And that's going to represent the ELB rider. So to give you another visualization of those 4 quadrants, well, hey, I got that pulled up on the screen for you. And here's how we're going to go through that interactive activity that you can do with your clients when we're going over the rider. So we're going to start in the upper left-hand corner. In that quadrant, go ahead and write shorthand ENH PFWD. Now, what does that stand for? That stands for the first benefit, the enhanced penalty-free withdrawal in the ELB rider. Okay, so this is a very easy story. Client has access to 10% penalty-free during the first contract year. If they decide not to take that, the following contract year, that penalty-free withdrawal enhances to 20%. That maximum enhancement stays at 20. Once a client takes a withdrawal, all they have to do is wait another contract year and bam, that'll boost back up to 20. So technically, every other year, if you want to picture this, the client could take a 20% withdrawal of their accumulation value if they wanted to. Now, is this benefit life-changing, earth-shattering? It's not. You've seen an enhanced penalty-free withdrawal before, but us against the competition, I'm thrilled that we can offer the first enhancement as early as contract year 2. Okay, so continuing to play the game on our interactive activity, on the quadrant that's underneath the enhanced penalty-free withdrawal, quadrant 2, going to have you draw in ROP, shorthand for return of premium. This is another simple story. our return of premium feature has a 3-year wait. So day one of the 4th contract year, if the client wanted their premium returned to them, that is exactly what we'll do. If they start the policy off with $100,000 and day one of the 4th contract year, they said, you know what, I need my premium returned to me. And we're going to say, you got it. And we're going to give them their $100,000 back. So that is the ROP. Now, us against the competition, again, this isn't first to market. You've seen a return of premium feature before. The thing I like about the return of premium feature is the benefit to the client and the benefit to you as the financial professional. So benefit to the client would be we're literally returning their premium to them. There's no weird nuances or anything like that. We're just sending them their premium back. When it comes to the benefit of the financial professional, which is a popular question I get, does this create a chargeback? It doesn't. Our chargeback on our commission schedule only happens within the 1st contract year. Well, this ROP, you have a 3-year wait. So that far, exceeds the time frame of a chargeback. So again, liquidity to the client and, no chargeback to you. That's a great way to bill in that ROP feature. So kind of backing it up here, when I gave you a visual, these are the 2 benefits or the 2 quadrants that a client has access to, and it doesn't matter what their health is. Now we're going to get to the first to market magic with these EDL type benefits. So in the upper right-hand corner, that's going to be quadrant 3 or benefit 3. In shorthand, if you can write ADL, SURR, waiver. And what that simply stands for is that ADL-based surrender charge waiver. Anytime after issue, notice my dramatic pause after that, right? Anytime after issue, meaning there's no wait for this. Anytime after issue, if the client can't perform 2 out of 6 ADLs and we get that physician's letter in, we're going to waive all surrender charges on any size withdrawal and on multiple withdrawals up to the full 100% of the accumulation value. Another simple way to put that, you got a fully liquid policy that the client has access to in case of the what ifs that come from not being able to perform 2 out of 6 ADLs. So whatever they need to take, whatever amount, whatever time frame, even if it's over multiple withdrawals, they know that they have access to it. And it's still going to sit there and, be able to accumulate positive market performance too. So again, that's awesome that we're going to waive all surrender charges on that full accumulation value once we get that physician's letter in. So now we're going to get to the 4th and final benefit or 4th and final quadrant. So the empty box underneath that, the bottom right-hand corner, shorthand, right, ADL, 5-pay. And that's going to represent this ADL-based payout benefit. Here's what's neat. Starting in the 3rd contract year, the client will have access to this 5-pay benefit once they can't perform 2 out of 6 ADLs and we get that physician's letter in. It's going to look very similar to a 5-year period certain. We're going to take that accumulation value, so the premium that they put in, any interest they accrued along the way, and we're going to split that into 5 equal payments. But wait, there's more. Before we split it into that 5 equal payments, we're going to put a multiplier on top of it first, which is represented under that quadrant. So you can see that multiplier starts at 110%, contract year 3, when it's first available, enhances 5% each year, in year 6 and on, it's going to be at 125%. Wow. So I've heard people say, wow, now you're getting into the carrier's pocket, right? Because all of our other competitors out there are saying, you know what? We've built our products to give the client access, enhance liquidity to their own accumulation value. And North American has said, you know what? We're going to offer that too, but we're going to kick it up a notch. And we're going to give them first to market access to enhanced liquidity when they can't perform 2 out of 6 ADLs to a cash value, not a phantom value like an income account value, but an actual cash value. So a popular question I get at this point when, people are taking a look at the 4 quadrants they drew out, the shorthand that they put in there, and knowing, hey, I could actually walk through the ELB writer with a client and have them draw the same triangle and write, applicable shorthand in each box. That way they visually understand, hey, here's how the ELB writer works. You got 4 benefits. 2 you can use. It doesn't matter what your health is. And then the other 2 that are quote unquote unlocked when a client can't perform 2 out of 6 ADLs. So now that we're at this point, a popular question would be, okay, so if a client sends a physician's letter in, they can't perform 2 out of 6 ADLs, and they have a fully liquid policy there that's still sitting there accruing positive market performance, why would they want to tie it up in a 5-pay? Well, it's interesting that someone would phrase it like that because this payout benefit is getting so much traction. So I'm going to show you some math behind it. Never fear, I am not going to make you try to read, the font size 4 on our illustration that I have pulled up. I'm actually going to showcase what this looks like. So I'm going to show you 3 different examples: contract year 4, contract year 6, and contract year 10, right? So comparing quadrants or benefits 3 and 4, the ADL-based ones, we know any dollar amount that you see represented in the accumulation value column, the client has full access to that. They can take part of it, they can take all of it with no surrender charges. However, if they wanted to utilize quadrant or benefit 4, that ADL-based payout benefit, we're going to show them on the illustration, here's what the 5 equal payments would look like. But the total enhanced payout benefit is represented in that final column. So let me ask you this. What would be better for the client? Year 4, full accumulation value of over $169,000, or would they want access to over $194,000 through 5 equal payments? Year 6, same question. Do they want immediate access to a little over, $189,000, or would they want over $236,000 through 5 equal payments? Contract year 10, oh yeah, full access to that accumulation value of close to $279,000, or access to over $348,000 through a 5-pay. See, making their premium, any interest they accrued along the way, plus a multiplier work in their favor, they can absolutely do that. So going back to me stating, why did North American come out with this product? What were we trying to accomplish? We were trying to accomplish an accumulation story. Accumulation, not just the premium protection, but can a client get access to consistent returns? Well, I've already proven that fact. Well, what about the flexibility, the liquidity? Isn't it nice that they have the flexibility to either have access to that accumulation value or the 5-pay? It depends on what the client needs. So if you ask me, and hey, I'm not biased at all, we knocked it out of the park when it comes to flexible options that a client has access to when the time comes. So again, 2 benefits the client can use. It doesn't matter what their health is. And those other 2 benefits that are quote unquote unlocked when they can't perform 2 out of 6 ADLs and we get that physician's letter in, that is the first to market magic. Now, going over the nuts and bolts, I will make this short and sweet because I know that nuts and bolts, they're important. They don't sell the annuity. They do not do the solution-based selling of what a fixed indexed annuity can provide. So here we go. Drum roll, please. VersaChoice 10 is a modified single premium product, meaning you can add all the additional premiums you want in the first contract year. After that, you're cut off, no additional premiums. We only have one chassis, and that's a 10-year surrender charge period. That's 1010 compliant. We already covered there's a 10% penalty-free withdrawal available the first contract year. This policy or this product will issue from 0 to 79, and the minimum premium to start is going to be $20,000, qualified or non-qualified. So when it comes to our agenda, first thing, VersaChoice 10, exploring the accumulation enhancements. We were able to showcase how Mark V performed in 2019 and what those average interest credits look like to VersaChoice policyholders allocated into the Mark V. Remember, average interest credit of 9%. Adding another volatility controlled index with Fidelity. That was a great enhancement that we made on May 5th of this year. Boom, covered that. We also covered the first to market liquidity available on VersaChoice. Again, first to market liquidity, that you've got two benefits, doesn't matter what your health is, an additional two that are quote unquote unlocked when a client can't perform 2 out of 6 ADLs, to the only value that exists on the policy, and that is the cash value. Knock that out of the park. You're only going to get that with North American on VersaChoice 10 with that ELB rider. Again, fee only 60 bips, 0.6%. So now we're going to bring it back to our EPC program and what IAMS has in store for you. So, I feel like with the environment we're in, we always want to position everything benefit to the client. And then let's talk about the benefit to the financial professional. Clearly, the benefit to the client is pretty outstanding with that first to market liquidity that you can offer them. And the fact that that liquidity does not water down the accumulation play on this product like other products from our competitors that are out there. So benefit to the client, we made clear. So let's talk about a small benefit to the financial professional with our exclusive producers connection. This is our loyalty program. Whenever we describe our loyalty program, I love how we state this is about helping you advance your career. So this is additional compensation for fixed indexed annuity sales within a calendar year. We have 3 different levels that I'll go over with you. Notice that I said fixed indexed annuity premium issued in a calendar year. That means each year you'll have to qualify. Never fear on that, because for each qualifying level, that additional compensation is paid retroactively to the first dollar issued in the calendar year, which would be 2020 this year. I have an amazing visualization where I'll walk you through how those retro payments work. But first things first, let's talk about our 3 different levels here. So our first level is going to be executive. If you have $1 million issued in FIA business, you will receive 50 bips in additional compensation. When it comes to our second level, president, so you're chugging along, and when you hit that $3 million in issued FIA business in the calendar year, that's a full 1% in additional compensation straight to you. Now, for our final third level, chairman, for issued $5 million in FIA business in that calendar year, you're going to receive an additional 1.5% in compensation from North American. Now, qualification, how do you qualify? Well, if you are at the correct level, you're auto-enrolled in the program. So when it comes to the additional compensation, those additional payments are going to be made on a monthly basis, depending on the qualifying level you're at. When it comes to financial professionals, corps, even licensed only agents, LO agents, you have to be at street level or below to be able to participate. So again, if you're licensed only to a corporation, perfectly well and good. As long as that corporation is set at street or below, those licensed only agents will be able to participate. Finally, if you're a registered rep working with a broker dealer, that broker dealer has to approve our EPC program. If you have questions on your broker dealer, if they've approved the program or not, please feel free to contact IAMS. Please feel free to contact us here at North American, and we can get you taken care of too with taking a look at that. Okay, so I promised you an awesome visualization on the retro payments of our loyalty program, so here we go. So you see the purple line, January 1st of 2020. You as a financial professional working with IAMS, chugging along, and hey, you do $1 million of issued FIA business with North American. What's the first thing that's going to happen? Bam, retro payment. We're going to true you up back to $1, right? All first year premium counts. which is pretty cool. So we're going to give you a retro payment of 50 bips to true you up like you'd been at the executive level all calendar year. So you know you have that retro payment, and going forward, you're going to earn an additional 50 bips of compensation. So you're going to continue to chug along, and then you hit this $3 million mark in issued FIA business with us at North American. What's the first thing that's going to happen? Well, it's going to be that retro payment of 50 bips to true you up like you had been at the president level the whole year, right? That's an additional 1% in compensation. So that retro payment of 50 bips will happen. And then, you know, moving forward, you're going to earn that full 1% in additional compensation. But you know what? You're not done yet. You're still chugging along, and you hit the $5 million mark in issued FIA business with us here at North American. That's our final level. That's the chairman level. What's the first thing that's going to happen? Well, you got it. I know everybody was thinking it. Bam. It's going to be that final retro payment to true you up like you were at the chairman level for the entire year. So a retro payment of 50 bips, right? So that means that through retro payments and what you earned along the way, you earned a total of 1.5% on all that issued FIA business that calendar year. And moving forward, you're going to earn that additional 1.5%. So there's no need to requalify. There's no need to grandfather into a program like you'll have with some of our competitors, right? You send all this premium that you don't get additional compensation on, and when you finally hit a mark, it's from that point going forward. Well, of course you'd want to be grandfathered in the next year. That doesn't need to happen here at North American because of these retro payments truing you up where all first year FIA premium counts that calendar year. So let's do a little more math here. Between the retro payments and what you earned along the way between each level that you qualified for, that was an additional $75,000 in your pocket, not including your normal commission. So going back to one of the first comments I said, when we talk about our loyalty program, we talk about helping you advance your career. Well, if all of our webcams were on and I said, hey, show of hands, how many people think that additional $75,000 this year could help you advance your career? I'm fairly certain that I'd see a lot of hands raised. So when it comes to our EPC program, now you understand how it works. You understand what it takes to qualify. You understand that we have 3 levels, and now you understand how our retro payments work and how special our EPC loyalty program is. So what does IAMS have in store for you? Part of the follow-up process is going to be some great information I'm going to showcase to you. I had showed you a slide that had talked about our Mark V performance on average for 2019 for those policyholders that were allocated in it within VersaChoice. I also talked about the rate spotlight. Take the illustration game out of the question. If you want to know what hypothetical performance looks like, just simply look at a rate spotlight sheet and let it do the work for you. When it comes to that first to market liquidity story, the benefits that you can use, it doesn't matter what your health is, and then the additional 2 benefits that are quote unquote unlocked. Hey, we've got a great financial professional use flyer here that breaks it down like that. But let's back it up to that interactive exercise we did. I had you draw the rectangle and write shorthand in those 4 quadrants. Well, what if you wanted to do that with a client? Well, we've got a great ELB flyer that is client friendly that you can have them flip over and then walk them through that same exercise. Finally, if you wanted to take a look at a flyer, you've got a great opportunity to do that with what IAMS will be following up with you on our exclusive producers connection. So we've got some great, what I call ammunition to send your way. So for those attendees and you're wanting additional information, IAMS has you covered. Now I have to do my due diligence and show you these beautiful disclosure slides. But with that, want to give a really big thank you to everyone attending because you're attending now, that means that you're not out there doing virtual meetings. You're not educating. You're not, doing that solution-based selling with clients or prospects. You're spending time with myself at North American and also IAMS. So for that, again, thank you for carving out that part of your afternoon. Now, when it comes to IAMS, Lisa, a fantastic opportunity. You got to give Steve my best, right? Because this was fantastic. This is the first webinar that I did with IAMS for a couple years. So again, wanted to take advantage of the opportunity. And so really, thank you for that. So I'll go ahead and flip it back over to you.
All right, Tia, thank you so much. Fantastic presentation and breaking all those benefits down with the VersaChoice and some of the extra perks that our producers get as well. So phenomenal. Thank you so much. I want to thank all of our attendees also for coming through for us today and participating. Really appreciate having you all on. I will be following up with every single one of you. I'm going to shoot out that email with all those attachments that Tia just talked about and answer any additional questions that you have. If you've got some folks in mind that you think that this would be a good product to illustrate with, let's talk about it. Or if there's anything else that we can assist you with here at IAMS to help you grow your practice, we are here for you. So with that in mind, I will end this webinar. Tia, big shout out to you again. Thanks, girl, for helping, and I'll definitely tell Steve you said hi.